Animal attacks can be extremely dangerous, but thankfully, a majority of the time, they tend to be isolated incidents. However, sometimes individual animals can begin seeing humans as prey items, and this can lead to repeat attacks from the same individual or pack of individuals. Several of these animals went off to have victims numbering in the hundreds, and that is what we will be discussing in today's video. Here are 5 of the deadliest man-eating animals of all time. 5. Leopard of the Central Provinces. The leopard of the Central Provinces was a man-eating male Indian leopard that killed around 150 women and children in the central provinces of British India in the early 20th century. The leopard reportedly claimed a victim once every 2 to 3 days, each time in a different area to the last, with the killings sometimes taking place 20 to 30 miles apart. This leopard caused such panic that the native communities in its range rarely left their homes alone or unarmed. An unnamed British hunter was sent in to stop the beast, but was unsuccessful despite several run-ins with the murderous cat. Eventually, the leopard attacked the goats of a farmer, but it was driven off. Shortly upon returning, however, it was fatally shot with a projectile propelled from a gas pipe 5 yards away from it. The farmer presented the hunter with a leopard skin and stomach contents, among which was a ball of human hair, thus confirming it was the man-eater. The hunter purchased the hide for 10 rupees, later noting that the fur and claws were in fine condition, not what was to be expected from an old, injured, or sick animal. There were no signs of past injuries which could have prevented it from hunting, thus leading the hunter to conclude that the leopard had probably been fed human flesh as a cub by its mother, a likely man-eater herself. This was surprising, as generally man-eaters either tended to be too old to hunt usual prey or have some sort of medical or dental issue. The fact this leopard had neither is scary indeed. 4. Gustav the crocodile. Crocodiles are one of the only animals known to view people as a food source. Their ambush tactics and ability to remain unseen in the water make them particularly good at attacking people walking along the shore, washing their clothes, or swimming in the shallows. Gustav was a man-eating male Nile crocodile that roams the Ruzi River and the northern shores of Lake Tanganyika in Burundi, Africa. Gustav is rumored to have killed as many as between 200 and 300 people, though one more recent estimate states the true figure is probably 60 people or less. Although his exact size is unknown, a National Geographic team sent to track him estimated him to be around 60 years old, 20 feet long, weigh around 2,000 pounds. Gustav carries 3 bullet wound scars on his body, and his right shoulder blade was also found to be deeply wounded. Circumstances surrounding these 4 scars are unknown. Scientists who have studied Gustav claim that his uncommon size and weight impede his ability to hunt the usual agile prey of Nile crocodile, such as fish, antelope, zebra, and other medium-sized herbivores, forcing him to attack larger animals such as hippos, buffaloes, and humans. There were some attempts to capture Gustav, but the trap team was forced to leave the region due to a civil war in the area. In 2019, it was claimed Gustav had finally been killed, but there has not been any evidence brought forward to support this claim. 3. The leopard of Panay. The leopard of Panay was a male leopard reported to be responsible for at least 400 fatal attacks on humans in the Panay region of the Alarma district, situated in northern India in the early 20th century. Hunter Jim Corbett heard of the leopard while hunting another man-eater, the champwat tiger, in 1907, and in 1910 he set out to kill it. Corbett hiked 30 miles through the jungle to reach a village where 4 men had been killed in a recent spree of attacks. Corbett staked out 2 goats as bait and laid in wait with his shotgun. The leopard was able to snatch the first goat unnoticed and returned 3 days later during the pitch black of night to steal the other. Unable to see, Corbett fired off a shot at the sounds of the leopard attacking the goat and appeared to wound it. Corbett then set up a beating line of men with torches and walked in through the bush in the direction the leopard had fled in. When the leopard appeared, the men with Corbett dropped their torches and ran, but Corbett was able to use the light from the fallen torches to shoot the leopard dead. Although it reportedly claimed significantly more lives than most man-eaters, the Panay leopard received less attention from the British Indian press, which Corbett attributed to the remoteness of the region. Like the leopard of the Central Provinces, the leopard of Panay was said to be in good health. 2. The champwat tiger. The champwat tigress is the single deadliest man-eater of all time. The tiger killed 436 people in the early 1900s, with a reign of terror lasting almost 7 years. The attacks began in the hills of Nepal, beginning her rampage in remote villages. As the death toll mounted to around 200, villagers began to panic, and the Nepali army was called in to hunt the tiger. Although the army was unable to kill the tiger, they managed to push her across the Sharda River and into Indian territory. The tigress re-established herself in the Kurman Hills, operating around the villages in the region. The tiger mostly attacked women and children who were alone, and unlike most predators, she seemed to have no fear attacking in broad daylight. The British colonial administration dispatched hunters to deal with this new threat, including the previous talked about hunter Jim Corbett. Corbett hunted for months and with no success until the spring of 1907, where the tigress killed a 16-year-old girl. Corbett, who was in the area, managed to follow the blood trail and fatally wound the tigress. A post-mortem exam of the tigress showed her to be around 10 to 12 years old and revealed that the upper and lower canine teeth were broken, possibly from an old gunshot wound. This would have led to difficulty attacking normal prey and explaining the tiger's rampage. Corbett, although being a successful hunter, would go on to be a very important and influential wildlife conservationist and photographer. His efforts would lead to further protections for the few precious Bengal tigers we have left. Number 1. The lion tribes of Njobe. Although they're not one specific animal, this number 1 spot goes to the lion pride of Njobe. The lions of Njobe were a pride of man-eating lions that killed almost 1,500 people in the Tanzania region between 1932 and 1947. Before this period, there was an outbreak of disease in cattle herds in the region, and much of the native wildlife was culled to help stop the spread. British hunting of native wildlife drove the lions to begin hunting people, as it was the only food source they had left. In terms of lion attacks, they had a very unique attack and hunting style. Most lion packs typically moved through the night when it was easier to sneak up on their prey, but the Njobe pride actually made most of the kills during the day, instead using the nights to move up to 20 miles to an unsuspecting village. They would even hit the same villages twice on occasion, something other lion packs typically avoid. The remoteness and lack of communication between these scattered villages made reporting the exact number of deaths difficult, but it is really estimated to be around 1,500. British hunter George Gilman Rushby was dispatched to hunt down the pride and was successful in eradicating the lions from the area. Even though many of these man-eaters were extremely dangerous, most of these species are in dire need of our help. Hunting and habitat losses many of these species endangered or close to being endangered, and it is important to protect the remaining populations we have left before it is too late. Subscribe.